question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What would be your top 3 priorities for Pataskala were you to be elected mayor?
One thing, like I don't think the mayors should handle like mayor's court that unless they give a referee or someone that knows law, someone that studied attorney at law to handle mayor's court, because you might get involved in something out of your territory, like a lot of citizens talk to me like they think this 25 mile per hour is posted throughout Lima Townships just to set up a speed trap because everybody has to pay car insurance and they're responsible. They're not going to hit a child or do something. You know, it would be someone maybe drunk or a teenager. Everyone that pays car insurance don't want these like 35 mile per hour limits and 25. They think that's just trying to irritate the citizens, and mayor's courts should be handled by someone that studied law.
Thank you, Mr. Beekman. Mr. Fox, your top 3 priorities were you to be elected mayor of Pataskala?
I've always believed and supported the local police department. There's talk about bringing in the Licking County Sheriff's Office. Nothing against the Licking County Sheriffs, but I want local control in the city of Pataskala. So one of the biggest things is permanent funding for the police department / streets. And yes, that does include snow and ice removal in the city of Pataskala, which we have had our kids and our drivers in peril for the last year without snow and ice removal. And again, when we seem to keep hearing this, it's going back to it for the last 4 years, the constant threats from this administration of we're going to do away with the police department, we're going to do away with Parks and Recs, we're going to do away with all of these things. I can tell you right now, as I sat at a meeting the other night, the city of Pataskala police budget is about $1.8 million. Of that $1.8 million, there's $210,000 set aside in a contingency fund, which would have up to an additional 4 officers available. The city of Pataskala has on lease right now 21 police vehicles that are less than 2 years old, or approximately 2 years old, that were leased all at one time for our city for 17 officers. I bet the mayor of Heath would like that many cruisers out there. They have less than half of that. So what we need to do as a priority, the top 3, would be maintain the funding for the police and the street department, stop the threats, and get the residents behind a permanent funding solution. And the final thing would be enhance the abilities for the businesses within our community.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. We come now to our closing remarks for the candidates for the mayor of Pataskala. And the order of those closing remarks will be Mr. Fox first, Mr. Butcher second, and Mr. Beekman will conclude the remarks. Mr. Fox.
Okay. I believe in order for Pataskala to move forward, we not only need the planned manufacturing area in the city of Pataskala, but we need to bring in small businesses. Many of our small businesses in our community feel hampered. We've had small businesses that have left our community. We've had small businesses that have chosen to try, in the last 4 years, to try to expand their businesses. And they're either priced out of it, where they can't afford to do the expansion, or they end up going somewhere else because it's a lot less expensive. We need to work on our zoning code to make it easier for small businesses in our community. We need adequate funding to provide our basic services, and the only adequate funding and the only fair way to do that at this particular time is with a property tax. It would be the least expensive route for us right now. I'm not saying that's a permanent future for the city of Pataskala, and I didn't say that this was a permanent decision. That would certainly be up to council. That's not the mayor's decision to make. My core beliefs that underlie all of my positions on the above issues can be stated very simply and clearly. We should maintain as much local control as possible, and above all, we should listen carefully to the opinions of the citizens of Pataskala, which I don't believe has happened in the last 4 years with the majority of council or with the mayor in the city of Pataskala. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. Mayor Butcher, you have the second set of closing remarks here.
Okay. First, I'm going to agree with something Mr. Beekman said as it related to the mayor's court. I completely agree with that. And when I came into office, the previous administration, when Mr. Fox was on council, had closed mayor's court, and we were paying a much higher rate for a prosecutor over in Newark. When I reinstituted that, I didn't believe I had the skills, training, or right temperament to sit as a judge and jury over traffic or criminal cases when we talk about some of the kinds of things that go through mayor's court. And the first thing I did was hire a magistrate, and we re-interned mayor's court to the city. We've faced some tough times. Our street and infrastructure funds have declined 15%, and our total budget has declined 7%. And we're operating on just 13% of the taxes residents pay. The other 87% is going to the school districts, the fire district, county agencies, and numerous other organizations. When the police levy expires, which it does at the end of this year, that percentage will drop even more. When we talk about whether the police department goes away or not, whether it's threats, I don't have any hesitation to say that we aggressively cut back on our staffing in order to carry as much money into each year as we could in order to maximize a minimum level of police department and afford us as many opportunities as we could in order to keep a police department, because I know the kind of crime and issues that our community faces.
Thank you, Mayor Butcher. And the final concluding remarks come from Mr. Beekman.
Well, we're kind of guessing that people will come in with industry and small business, but if people want to sit down and try, we need to try to help everyone that wants to make a business in Pataskala, give them all the help we can. And we all want more jobs. The whole country does. As far as the people who work for Pataskala, I'd like to see all the policemen keep their jobs and anyone that is employed. No one likes unemployment, but sometimes you might have to have temporary layoffs, and maybe at a later date they could get back. It's come to a point where you're going to have to massage these numbers because you don't have enough arithmetic to pay for the things, and you can't just burden the people who own property and build nice homes saying, oh, we got to just keep burdening you with taxes to keep the city going. Thank you.
Let's have a round of applause for the candidates for the mayor of Pataskala.